Hello friends, this video on gravitation part 7 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. It says calculate the force of gravitation between the earth and the sun given that the mass of the earth is 6 into 10 to the power 24 kgs and that of the sun is 2 into 10 to the power 30 kgs. The average distance between the two is 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 meters. So here the two objects which we have are the earth and the sun. So we will make use of the universal law of gravitation which says G m1 m2 by r square is equal to F. So here m1 is mass of the earth which is 6 into 10 to the power 24 kgs. m2 is mass of the sun which is 2 into 10 to the power 30 kgs. R is the distance between the earth and the sun which is 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 kgs, and the value of G we already know as 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Right? So now we can calculate F as 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 into 6 into 10 to the power 24 into 2 into 10 to the power 30 divided by 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 whole square. So this value comes out to be 3.56 into 10 to the power 22 newtons. So this would be the force of gravitation between the earth and the sun. Let us look at problem 7. Here the problem says a stone is allowed to fall from the top of a tower 100 meters high, and at the same time another stone is projected vertically upwards from the ground with a velocity of 25 meter per second. So let us suppose we have two stones, S1, stone 1 and stone 2. These are the two stones. So for the first stone, it says that the stone is thrown from the top of this tower. So that means that this stone is going down. For the stone S2, the stone is thrown or projected vertically upwards in this way. Now we have to calculate the point where these two stones will meet. So let us suppose that the two stones, this is coming down, this is coming up. Let us suppose that the two stones meet at point P. And let us suppose that the distance of this point P is x from stone S1, that is from the up of the tower. So what would be the distance of the stone of this point P from the bottom of the tower? The total height of the tower is given as 100 meter. So this distance will be equal to 100 minus x. Right? So we have to actually calculate this value of x, and we have to also calculate the time after which they will meet at this point. Right? So now let us first consider stone S1. So for S1, what is the distance traveled? The distance traveled till point P is x. Right? What was the initial velocity? So it was thrown from the top of the tower. That means initially it was at rest at the top of the tower. So initial velocity is 0. How much is the time taken? Let us suppose that the time taken to reach this point P is t. So it takes t time to reach this point P. So now we can write this second equation of motion as S is equal to ut plus half gt square. So here g is positive because the stone is falling down. So in this we can put this value. So this becomes x is equal to 0 plus half gt square, or we can say what is the value of g? Let us take g as 10 meter per second square. So this will be 10 into t square. So this is 2 5s are 10. So we can write x is equal to 5t square. So this is my first equation for stone S1. Now let us do the same thing for the stone S2. Now for S2, what is S? S is the distance traveled, that is 100 minus x. Right? What is the initial velocity for stone 2? Now in the problem it is given that it is projected with a velocity of 25 meter per second. So that means initial velocity is 25 meter per second. Right? And let us suppose the time taken is t, because the time taken will be same, right? Because they are meeting at this point. That means both would have traveled the same it traveled this much distance till point P in the same time. So here again, let us write down the equation, which is S is equal to ut plus half gt square. So this can be written as 100 minus x is equal to 25 into t plus half into 10 into t square. So this is 2 5s are 10. So we can write it as x is equal to 100 minus 25t plus 5t square. So this is my second equation. Now from equation 1 and 2 we see both the equations have their left hand side as x. So their right hand sides should also be equal. So from equation 1 and 2 we can say that 5t square should be equal to 100 minus 25t plus 5t square, right? So this 5t square and 5t square will get cancelled. So from this we get t is equal to 100 by 25, that is equal to 4 seconds. That means, so we got one answer. It was asking calculate when. So we already found the answer for when. So the two stones will meet after 4 seconds, right? So one problem is solved. And where? That means we have to calculate x. Now once we found t, from equation 1 we can calculate x. So from equation 1, x is equal to 5t square, that is 5 into 4 into 4, that is equal to 80 meters. So this x is 80 meters. So what would be 100 minus x? So 100 minus x will be equal to 100 minus 80, that is equal to 20 meters. So that means the two stones will meet at a distance of 20 meters from the ground after 4 seconds, right? So this, because this will be 20 meters, so they are meeting at a distance of 20 meters from the ground after 4 seconds. So here you saw this problem was little different one, but here also we used the same equation of motion and we just equated them. So the thing is that if you are good to go with the equations of motion, if you have understood how to apply the equations of motions correctly, then you can solve even little tricky problems also. Now let us look at the last problem of this section. It says a ball is thrown up vertically, returns to the thrower after 6 seconds. Okay. Find the velocity with which it was thrown up, the maximum height it reaches, and its position after 4 seconds. Okay. So in this case, the time which is given as 6 seconds. What is that time? That is the total time that the ball takes to go up and to come down. That means time of ascent plus time of descent is given as 6 seconds. So this implies the time of ascent and time of descent each is equal to 3 seconds, right? Because time of ascent is equal to time of descent. So now in the first problem, we have to calculate the velocity with which it was thrown up. So the stone was thrown up from here. So we have to calculate the initial velocity, right? Now the stone will reach a maximum height. So at maximum height, the final velocity will be equal to 0. Correct? So we can make use of the first equation of motion, that is v is equal to u minus gta, minus because the stone is going up, so the acceleration would be minus ta, that means the time of ascent, the time taken to go up. So using this we can say u is equal to v plus g into ta. So what is v? That is 0 plus g, let us take g as 10 meter per second square, into ta, that is 3 seconds. So this will be equal to 30 meter per second. Now I am considering g as 10 meter per second square just to simplify my calculations, but otherwise you should consider the accurate value, that is 9.8 meter per second square, except for problems which explicitly mention that please take g as 10 meter per second square. Now the next part, the maximum height it reaches. So that means we have to again calculate the total displacement or the total distance that it will cover. So we will make use of the second equation, that is S is equal to UTA minus half GTA square. So UT minus half GT square. So this will be equal to, what is U? U we have just now calculated as 30 meter per second. So this will be 30 into 3 minus half into 10 into 3 square. So this comes out to be 90 minus 45, which is equal to 45 meters. So this 45 meter is the maximum height the stone will reach. Now in the third part, we have to calculate its position after 4 seconds. Now what is the position of the stone after 3 seconds? 3 seconds it reaches the maximum height. So 4 seconds means this point it will reach, after that it will start falling down. So it will be somewhere at this point. So we have to calculate this position, that means the distance of this point from the ground. So this is the distance covered in 3 seconds and the distance which it covers in another 1 second. Correct? So in the third part, we see that in 3 seconds, it reaches the maximum height. So in another 1 second, what happens? It starts falling down. So we have to see in another 1 second how much distance it travels. So let us suppose that in another 1 second it travels a distance of s dash. So what will be that s dash? We can calculate it. S dash is equal to ut plus half gt square. Now in this case, initial velocity would be the velocity at the top of the tower, which was 0, plus half into g is 10 meter per second square. T is 1 second because we are calculating it for 1 second. So this will be equal to 5 meters. So that means in 1 second it traveled 5 meters. So that means in 4 seconds, what was its position? So if you look at the height of the tower, what is the height of the tower? It is 45 meters, right? Just now we calculated the maximum height. So this is the height of the tower. In 1 second it traveled 5 meters. So that means it is at this point P currently. So we have to find out the position of this point P. So position of point P will be 45 minus 5. That is equal to 40 meters from the ground. So this would be the position of the point or the position of the stone after 40 seconds, after 4 seconds, right? So I hope with these many problems, your concepts or the theoretical concepts which we studied in the universal law of gravitation and acceleration due to gravity have become better. So now we will talk about the remaining topics of this lesson. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.